Yeah.
Some wholesalers think that the title company is one and the same as a transaction coordinator.
Well, that was, when I started this. All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back. This is David with Easy REI Closings in our continuing adventure to teach you a little bit about real estate and help you navigate the crazy muddy waters of this business. I wanted to bring in my friend Lauren. She's with Key Title in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and they're probably one of the biggest investor-friendly title companies in the whole state and kind of in this region. So I wanted to bring somebody on to teach you all a little bit about the title work, right? Because it's sort of that mysterious thing that happens kind of like behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz. There's a lot of things that I didn't understand. So honestly, some of this is for me too, so I can learn some stuff. So we always love to have really smart people on these podcasts and YouTube videos. So Ms. Lauren, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Cool beans. Well, I'm Lauren, and like he said, I work at Key Title here in Chattanooga. I've been there about 3 years, right at almost 3 years. So I started just as a title processor there. So I process all the files, clear the title, get it ready for the escrow portion, and then.
So you've said a lot of things there that people aren't going to understand. Slow it down for the simple guys like me.
So I work at a title company, obviously. So one of the things that we do obviously is to clear the title. So we send out a search on the title. It does about like a 20 to 30 year search.
Okay.
Comes back with like mortgages, liens, judgments, things of that nature on there. Typically anything that's owed on the property or any cloud on the title. Some wholesalers think that the title company is one and the same as a transaction coordinator.
Well, that was, when I started this, 20 something years ago, they would say that like get good people on your team, build this all-star team and get the title company to do everything. Like I actually had to pay for a coach at one point. He was like, just make the title company do it. F them. If they don't want to do it, you can go to somebody else. I'm like, I don't know that really is the way that I want to run my business.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, there are certain times when like, absolutely, I don't mind helping out, but you're unfortunately not my only client. And so it gets a little muddy sometimes. And I also think that it breaks the barrier of the fact that we have to be a very neutral third party in the transaction. And so sometimes these sellers think that we personally work with this wholesaler, and that muddies the lines because then, worst case scenario, like they go to sue somebody for something, they think that we're one and the same.
I gotcha.
And that muddies the lines. So there's two big reasons that I love transaction coordinators. The first one is for us specifically, wholesalers sometimes are very, very busy. They don't have time to answer our phone calls or our emails, which is fine. Like I completely understand that because you have to be out doing things in order to make more money. And so I need this document urgently and I don't have anybody that can go out and get it. And I need a death certificate and they don't have the time to do it. They don't respond back to me for 3 weeks. And then that delays their closing. And then it's my fault. You know what I mean? So that's frustrating. But then also too, I think, and I've seen it happen where you'll have this wholesaler who has so much potential to do more, but they don't have the time to do all of the paperwork as well as go out and be boots on the ground. So I've seen it happen where this one company that we work with was doing like a couple of deals a month, like doing really well, like deals, and then finally started ramping up. We told him about Easy REI Closings and like the TC transaction coordinating stuff. And since he has joined you guys, I think his business is like tripled from what we can see.
That's cool.
Because it's such again, he does not having to deal with the day-to-day paperwork, like the day-to-day trend, like what's going on with this file? When's it going to be closed? When am I going to get my wire? Y'all are doing that for him so that he is able to go out and get more business.
It's interesting because I talk about a lot with people as wholesalers, and I identify as a wholesaler. That's my pronoun, wholesaler. But, we're hustlers and entrepreneurs and a little bit of banana heads, but we're very driven and love talking to people, which is great. Like that's why we make a lot of money. The bad side of that is we're incredibly not detail oriented. We are probably the worst. Like I tell people, like, if you're a wholesaler, your accountant probably hates you, your bookkeeper can't stand you, your attorney despises you because you don't do anything on time, and your title company probably doesn't like you too much either. So so that personality type that makes us really successful doing, wholesaling or running our business or, doing that type of stuff it's the antithesis of being good at like spreadsheets and problem solving and paperwork. So you need somebody on your side that can do that so that you can really spend your time doing the stuff that you love and that you're good at.
I agree. And like I said, I've seen it help and grow somebody's business astronomically on our end. And again, whenever we have a transaction coordinator, I kind of have a little bit of a sigh of relief because
it gives you one point of contact.
Exactly. One point of contact, like, because, and sometimes wholesaling companies, they have like a bunch of boots on the grounds people that we don't necessarily work with a lot. So sometimes we're like, who do we reach out to for this? What's going on? Like, who's the best person to reach out to? So it's nice with your business where I know who my contact is. If I have a problem, I go directly to them. They get it solved with the client, and then they come back to us and tell us what the resolution is. Or we work together to find a resolution. You know, it's a very give and take relationship between the transaction coordinator and the title
and that's what we love, and that was always important to me. I had this one attorney in town here long before you were title, but his name was Jeremy, but we called him Dr. No, because every time we took a deal over there, it was like, man, we can't close this. You're going to have to quiet title. Oh, bankruptcy. Oh, death certificate. Oh, you know, it was always couldn't do it. And then one day, finally, I was like at wit's end. Like literally, I just literally trashed deal after deal after deal over a year or two. Finally, one day, I'm like, dude, come on. I just came from this lady's house. Like I told her we could do this. There's got to be something that we can do. And he's like, well, I guess if you can get a death certificate and you can get this and you can get that and these couple of affidavits, I guess we could close it. I'm like, motherfucker. We have thrown how many deals away? Literally in the trash can. And now you're telling me there was a way. You know, so I appreciate that in you guys. And, you know, that's certainly something that our team, we really strive to do, is to find an answer.
Exactly. I agree.
And there's not always, sometimes there's the fast answer, but other times it is the long answer. It's a super quiet title, or it's one of those things. And, you know, at least with us, you know, we'll help your seller understand that, but we'll stay in the process until we can get it to close, right? Because there is always an answer.
I agree.
Sometimes it's complicated, but there is an answer.
And I think that we pride ourselves on, like, if there's kind of a will, there's a way. Like, we'll get it figured out. It might be a little bit longer of a process to do it, but we can pretty much close on about anything. And whether that's like, again, like creative deals or stuff like that, like, we're going to try and find a way to get it closed.
Yeah, I would say as long as the seller or sellers are participating, we can work absolute miracles.
I agree.
It's when they won't answer the phone, or it's that one sibling who's like, nope, I'm not selling.
I don't want to sell this. Or they like, and a big thing too, I think, especially with like heirs, and now that you mentioned that, is some people think that just because you don't live here, you can't get a deal closed. So I think that deters a lot of sellers sometimes. So like, well, my sister doesn't live here, so how is she going to do it? I'm like, well, don't you worry about it. I've got mobile notaries that can go out to you, and they can meet you anytime, anywhere.
We can close in your living room, McDonald's, or another title company
or
that's close by.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna get it done regardless.